Hey, how's it going? This is Augustus from Ask a Wise Guy, and I'm about to get wise with you. Welcome, 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 welcome. The warmest welcome possible to this series. This is the Return of Cleopatra series. This is the first video for it, then the first message for it, and I am very excited for you in this. And yeah, let's get going. So before I get going, I might do an intro video just to let you know what you have to look forward to, and if I do, you'll be able to find that. If not, then this will be the intro. But this is the first installment on this series because I haven't done this much, but what I will start doing is making a number of series within a series. So the Return of Cleopatra is the main series, but we're going to have certain topics that we're going to deal with, and we're really going to spend time and caress these topics and make sure that we really allow these topics to really navigate our souls. So a pen and pad is a must, and let's get going. So this series is how to feel good about yourself. How to feel good about yourself. Let me see. Genesis 18:12. Now, if you're a follower of the word, you can follow with me, if you can. If you're not, then just listen to these stories. Listen to the message behind these stories, and just know that I'm not speaking out the side of my neck. These are topics that are highly validated, and this is the most referenced book in the world. So yeah, Genesis 18:12. All right. So what we need to ask ourselves is, we already asked one question: why do I feel like this? Another one would be, well, how were you raised? How were you raised? See, because however you were raised, that's going to tell you a lot about yourself. That's going to tell you a lot about where you're going, and who you were meant to be by your parents, that is, or guardians. All right. So let's go to Genesis 18:12, and let me start reading. Therefore Sarah laughed. Let me see. Let's go to 11. I'm sorry. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. All right. So what happened was, it was prophesied to Sarah that she would have a child, and we just read the scripture here. It said that her and her husband were old. Now science have proven this, but it doesn't matter how old a man is; he will always give seed. But a woman, once she hits a certain age, she can't bear children. Just for those that might not have known that. But Sarah laughed, and that's not the best response to make when someone's prophesying over you. When someone's speaking good into your life, that's not the best response to make. But there's a reason why she did that. There's a reason why she felt that that prophecy was dumb and there's no truth in it, regardless of the fact that this is a spiritual matter. It has to be. This is you have a messenger from the Lord telling her this. But she just couldn't see that. So here we go. Let's go to Genesis 11. All right, let's figure out who Sarah was raised by. All right, let me see. Verse 4. Actually, let's start at 1 first. All right, this is Genesis 11, chapter 11, verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. All right. Now, let's go to 4 right quick. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, or let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth. All right. So the people, their whole objective was to be one, to use this one language, and to build a tower that would reach into heaven, so that they could, make their plea with the Lord, so that He wouldn't mix them up, and that they could, continue to be one. So the Lord came down, and He seen the city and the tower. This is verse 5, and which the children of man built. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, or the people are one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. All right. Long story short, the Lord mixes up their languages. He splits them up, and what happens is the people, they have different languages, and now they can't understand each other. So now they can't go into heaven and make their cause against the Lord, because, mind you, the people that taught these people these things, you will have to go deeper into Scripture to see this, but they were evil, and they didn't trust in the Lord. So what happens here is the Lord says, all right, well, yeah, I'm going to split your languages up then. If you guys can't respect me as your creator, I'm going to split your languages up, and those that choose to respect me and to love me and to trust me, those I will bless. See? So, long story short, there were a couple of sons that had many children, and Sarah came from those children from the Middle East. All right, from modern day Syria. It was called in those days. And Sarah, she got this prophecy from the Lord, or a messenger of the Lord, but it's the Lord's word. And she laughed, because she's like, all right, look, I don't even trust God. That's what she's saying. That's what she's thinking, because that's where she came from. But her husband, Abram, he did trust in the Lord, because the Lord spoke to him personally. See? Now, here's the deal. That was Sarah's upbringing. That was how Sarah was raised to think. And then she got a message that the miracle, the chance of a lifetime, will come to her door. And she laughs at it. See? And we do these things often. Ladies, you guys, you do those things often. Us men, we do the same as well. at times. But this isn't the best way to go about things. See? And it's all because you feel a certain way. And it's because you were raised a certain way. So that's how were you raised? That's the question that we want to ask. Another question we want to ask to get to the bottom of this is how do those closest to you react to these things? If certain things happen in your life that you weren't expecting, and you were raised a certain way, you're gonna react a certain way. To give you an example, if you were born under the fathership of a pastor, well, you might have more integrity in your decisions, and if you didn't and you were being raised by a pastor, I wouldn't want to go to that pastor's church. But aside from that, all jokes aside, if you were raised by a pastor, you would probably have more integrity in your decisions. And if someone did something to you, you would probably have a little more patience, a little more leniency in how you dealt with that person. But let's say you were raised by these are two different extremes, all right? But let's say your father was a pimp, all right? How many of you know that you would act differently to certain things if that was your upbringing? See? And for some, this may sound like a foreign language, but to some, this is a native language. This is where they live. This is how they were brought up, And to you ladies that are listening that were brought up like that, I know you can see where I'm coming from. Someone come to you, they only have a little bit of they only have a little bit of time, a little bit of leeway before they feel your wrath, because you ain't gonna play that, right? But to that girl that was raised by a pastor, she would let some more things go. All right. So that's what your upbringing has to do with that. Those that are closest to you, your friends, your mentors, your parents. Yeah, we can't exclude the people that we love, because those are the main ones that have an impact on our personality and our character. Those are the main ones. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. Excuse me. So this is what we're dealing with here, Think about it. Really ask yourself that. How do those closest to you react to certain things in life? If you're online, just simple stuff. You're at the bank, you've been waiting for an hour, you're in line and someone cuts in front of you. That's a blunt sign of disrespect. But how are you going to react to that? Ladies, do you know Cleopatra? I do. And I could bet you $100 that I could see her in you too. See, in the Return of Cleopatra, we're going to cover everything that you need to know in order to bring out that Cleopatra. See, what most don't know about Cleopatra is that she was the only queen that came from Greece, was a queen in Egypt and Rome. She was sexy, smart, and let's not forget, royal. See, most women today don't believe that they deserve to be treated like a queen. Some believe that they deserve more, and some simply just want something new. But in Cleopatra, we're going to figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for and how to get it. So make sure you subscribe and click on that beautiful yellow bell so that you know the second I drop something new. Can't wait to see you there. You know, and a lot of actually I'll probably be safe with saying 99.99%, but I'll say I'll say most of your reactions to things are based on your emotions and how you feel, how something made you feel. See, and that goes back to why do you feel like this. So you want to ask yourself, those that are around you, think about your company, think about those that you love, those that you trust, and think about how they will handle things. All right. Once again, we could go to Sarah. You know, her upbringing was she grew up in a area where the people there knew very little about God, and they had very little trust in God, and they had different idols. Even Abram had to leave certain idols. You know, he gave he gave offerings to a Babylonian god. See, many people don't talk about this. This is Abraham, Father Abraham, and many sons. And those many sons that had Father Abraham, yeah, this is the same guy here. But this is how he was raised, and this is how Sarah was raised. So she reacted based on how she came up. Let me tell you something, ladies. All right, now this is where we're getting to that Cleopatra here. It doesn't matter how you were raised. How you were raised doesn't matter. We're gonna talk about this in later videos, but if you focus on the fact that you might have kids one day, and you carry yourself as if you want to be their perfect role model, you're going to spend very little time thinking about how you were raised. And you're going to spend a lot more time focusing on how you want them to be raised. See? That's very simple, but very few, come to that knowledge. Very few come to that wisdom. Simply because, and this is going to bring us into our next question, do you want to break the cycle? This is something that you have to ask yourself. You know who your friends are. If you have friends that react to things better than you, that's a good deal. And you can learn a lot from those friends. You don't even have to look for a mentor, right? But if you have friends that they react to things like you, and they came up the same way, and they probably react to things worse, I'm not saying cut them off. What I'm saying is you have to pay attention to those things, and you have to be aware of when those things might affect you. Heck, you got to be aware of the fact that those things might affect you. Just the very thought of that, you know. This is what we're dealing with. So, how do you... do you want to break the cycle? Do you want to break the cycle? There's people out there, and if you are one of these folks, then you can relate to this, and there should be no argument, you know. But there's people out there that they do things that they know isn't necessarily right, but they're proud of it because of how it makes them feel. There's people out there that do things that they feel isn't the best decision to make, but they know what they could get out of it. Let me tell you something that you might not have known. We all do that. We all do that. But there is a way to break out of that. And see, if you enjoy these things, it's going to be hard for you to it's going to be very hard for you to get out of it, because you don't even want to break out of it. You know, if you're in a situation right now, you know, you have a boyfriend that's abusive, you have a father of your children, or fathers of your children, right? And they're not coming through for you. You got to go to the government. You know, if you're just focusing on the benefits of these situations, it'll get you to the next day, but it won't get you out of your situation. How many of you ladies know about Black China? Now, years from now, you know, people, you guys will listen to this and say, wow, this is old. But, you know, right now, this is very hot. Black China, her life is a perfect example of what we're talking about right now. You know, she got into a profession where she knew that it wasn't right, but she enjoyed it. She enjoys what comes with it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, Black China, she used to strip. You know, she was an erotic dancer, in more softer terms. But at the end of the day, you know, she probably started out doing that, probably felt bad about it, you know. And when people would ask her, yeah, so why do you do this? She probably said, just to get tuition for college. Yeah. That's a well-known gray lie right there, white lie. But it's very common, and this is what we're dealing with here. You know, she got into this, she started enjoying it, and next thing you know, she's bringing that home. She brought that home to Tiger. Now she got a kid with him. She's pulling in that child support from him, bringing in that government check. Now she got Rob Kardashian. She got a white boy with money, real money. I made another vlog about China and Iran, and I'm not gonna go too far into this, but I'll just put it like this: I was wrong. I forgot that Jenner, Caitlyn, whatever his name, Jenner. That's not his father. The drag queen isn't his father. The original Rob Kardashian, his father was a lawyer, and he backed up, he helped out OJ in that case. So needless to say, the Kardashians want for nothing. In Black China, she wants for nothing too. She knows that it's not right, but she's going deeper and deeper and deeper into this life because she's looking at the benefits. See, and this is something that, ladies, if you could attest to this, if you can relate to this, you want to get out of this. You want to get out of this because you might not feel it. Your parents might not feel it. Even your baby's fathers might not feel it. But those kids will feel it. The legacy that you're supposed to be mothering, they will feel it. And they'll grow up hating you. If they're mature, if they grow to be mature, they'll love you still, and they'll always have love for you. But they'll be highly disappointed in you. Every day of their life, they'll ask themselves, why couldn't I have a mother that did this? Why couldn't I have a mother that did that? They'll be mad at the world. They'll be mad at so many different areas in life that they wouldn't even have time to be mad at themselves. They'll blame their self and their self-made decisions on those that raised them and those things around them. And the cycle goes on. So you have to ask yourself this question, ladies. Do you want to break the cycle? I know I'm going real heavy here, and there's a lot of self-examination. Trust me. The next video is going to be called "Do These Jeans Look Good on Me?" All right, and we're going to be talking about how those jeans look good on you the whole time. So, we're doing a lot of self-examination here, but this is powerful stuff, ladies. It's powerful. I don't know if you ladies seen this. You could Google it, YouTube it, do anything with this video. But look up this video, Ashley Judd and Madonna when Trump was running for his presidency. And, they had something to say. They were supposed to be sticking up for women, female rights. I used to respect Ashley Judd as an actress. But when I seen that, I was trying to figure out what kind of medication she could have been on. See? And these are the things that's happening because there's a cycle. And some people that weren't even born in that cycle, they're starting to be impacted by that cycle. They're starting to feel impact by that cycle because they're close to it. It looks good. It feels good. Before I break out of that one, there's another question I would like to ask, or like you to ask yourself. Do you want to break that cycle? All right. Another one. What can I do to replace the cycle? What other cycles am I revealing to myself? What other cycles do I know? What other alternatives do I know? What are your mentors? Who are they? When you're watching TV, are you watching women that go through what you go through, or women that went through what you are going through? Are you watching women that paint the perfect picture of the type of woman that you would like to be? The type of woman that you would like to raise your daughters to be? And your sons will fall right in line. Trust me, so a good mother could raise a good son, right? That's a whole nother topic in itself, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stay there right now. But do you want to break the cycle? Our last question: how to break the cycle and feel better about those things. All right. Proverbs 31:30. This is a favorite among a lot of men because, real men that have their head on straight and that know the Lord, they love this scripture because it paints the perfect picture of the wife that they look for. But what they fail to notice is that Proverbs is 30 chapters speaking to the man and just one chapter speaking to the woman. That should tell you something right there. And us fellas, we today we like to push one chapter of Proverbs down the throats of our women, but we fail to live according to the first 30 of the book. See, so that's why this verse is favorite among men, because we have enough sense to know that this is the perfect woman, but it's just a man has to earn the perfect woman, ladies, and you may not see yourself as perfect. You don't have to. Trust me, you don't have to. But you do have to be earned. A man should work for you. You shouldn't give yourself up so easily and so fast. I don't care how it feels, because at the end of the day, you got to think about how it's not going to feel in the morning when he's not hitting you back, when he's not calling you back. Proverbs 31:30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. This whole chapter got a lot of beautiful stuff in it. If you read that full chapter before you even get to that, it has to do something within you. It has to build you up, because there's just so much beautiful stuff in here, and all of the things that are very simple and easy for you to become. The truth is, you're already like that. You just got to bring it out. You just gotta you have to do the right things in order to bring it out. But favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. This is a big deal. If you fear the Lord, if you allow the Lord to get involved in your life, if you use his words to figure out what a real woman is and how you can become one. Today, I wish I could say that I don't know how we got to this, but I actually do, and I can't just put it out there within 30 minutes, especially not within the last couple of minutes that I have left here. But we're at a state, specifically America, where our women, where you guys are women, you feel like they feel like how can I put this? Or women feel like they don't deserve much, and they feel like they don't have to be earned, and they feel like their bodies dictate their lives, and their lives are based on their bodies. I got a proverb for you guys, all right? And this is all out of love. I'm not judging, but those that look the best spend most of their time in the gym. Or I'll put it like this: those that feel good about their bodies, excuse me, those that feel good about their bodies spend most of their time in the gym. Those that don't feel good about their bodies spend most of their time in the mirror. Those that feel the best about their bodies spend most of their time in the gym. Those that feel the worst about their bodies spend most of their time in the mirror. There you have it. That's it right there. That's the secret. That's it. But see, this is how you break the cycle. You come to the Lord and you go to His Word and you pray. You spend time in prayer, and you allow His Word to show you what a real woman is. And by His standards, not by the standards of the same women that will hop on a pole and massage men's egos and their desires for nothing. For nothing. This is what it's all about. So, ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with that. And like I said, in the next video we'll be talking about, do these jeans look good on me? So stay tuned for that. And love you guys. Take care. Please subscribe, like, dislike, do anything to this video. All right, share it and get it out to everyone that you know. And leave all questions in the comments. Email me. Everything's there. And love you. Stay wise.